New Comic Book Day is coming up this Wednesday, August 31st. It's time to take a look at the books coming out so I can tell you what I'm getting. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. On this channel, I talk about comics, and this is the latest in a series I like to call What I'm Getting, where I tell you what's on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list for the upcoming New Comic Book Day, which is this Wednesday, August 31st. Now, I gotta tell you, it's a light week. In fact, this is the lightest week I think I've ever had in comics, at least since I actually started a pull list, which is great for me. So this won't be a long video at all. Let's go ahead and get started with the book that I'm most excited for this week. That is a book from DC Comics, the long-awaited Superman Warworld Apocalypse #1. This is a one-shot from Philip Kennedy Johnson. If you've been following Action Comics for the last, how old is my kid? 18 months? Well, then you know that Superman has been on Warworld fighting with Mongol, or fighting against Mongol, and leading this uprising of basically slaves on Warworld. And this issue, this book, is where it finally comes to a head. We assume Mongol is defeated somehow. And then in, I believe, next week's issue of Action Comics, Superman is finally returning to Earth. Now, I've been in and out of PKJ's Action Comics run. Every time I read it, I enjoy it. But also every time I read it, I feel like I read it already. But this, we're finally moving the story forward in a very substantial way. And my understanding is that this somehow brings us current into where Superman is during Dark Crisis between this issue and the Action Comics issue that will follow it next week. So I'm excited. I'm excited to finally see the end of the Warworld saga. And maybe I'll read the issues I skipped in between. Maybe I won't. But I certainly have them all because I just organized them all into a short box. Anyway, Superman, the Warworld Apocalypse #1 has a cover price of $6.99. And I'm grabbing cover A. And that leads me to the next book, which is also the last book on my DC Comics pull list. Look, it's the 5th week of the month. And for whatever reason, these publishers are just like, yeah, let's just not publish on the 5th week. So we got The Flash, the 2022 annual. I feel like we just had the 2021 annual, but in fact, time is just passing quicker than it used to. I swear, the 365 days in this year are going to take like 6 months to get through. But the Flash 2022 annual this year, we've got a one-shot story featuring Wally West and his wife, Linda Park. So it's going to be an interesting story. The Wally West Flash book has been really good ever since Jeremy Adams took over last year. If you're looking for just a good old fashioned, like family friendly comic book, like this is that book. It's super heartwarming. I love Jeremy Adams on Flash, and that's why I'm picking up this annual, even though the cover price is a little bit higher than I like, which is $5.99. And I only saw one cover on League of Comic Geeks, so I'm getting cover A. And that's it. That's it for the DC Comics pull list. So if I just stick to the list, my DC books are going to cost me $13 this week. Now, let's move on to the Marvel books. Now, my Marvel books are both tie-ins to the event going on between the X-Men, Avengers, and Eternal. That's called Judgment Day. If you don't know, the Eternals, or some of the Eternals, have decided that the X-Men having the power of resurrection represents an excessive deviancy. They're deviants. Excessively so. Or whatever. But they're like, all right, we got to rain judgment down on these X-Men. And so another faction of the Eternals, along with the Avengers, are trying to stop them. And of course, the X-Men and all the mutants, they're trying to, defend themselves, defend their homeland as well. So this week we got 2 tie-ins, starting with, actually, I think anyway, this is alphabetical order. X-Force #31. Deadpool's on the team, and we got to respond to this threat. X-Force is one of my favorite X books because it's always heavy on the action. Since Deadpool has been in the X books, specifically Wolverine, it's had like this really funny tone that is good, but I could take it or leave it. But I think Deadpool being on X-Force gives you that brutality that you want, and also the humor that you need to break up some of that more gruesome stuff. So anyway, X-Force 31's out this week with a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And the other Judgment Day tie-in is X-Men issue 14. You know, X-Men, we've got a whole new X team, and I feel like I didn't spend enough time with the last X team before they did the Hellfire Gala all over again. But this era of X-Men really is like an analysis or a case study, a character study for Cyclops and who Cyclops is as a leader. And in a way, this is really a throwback to the X-Men era of old, and plenty of X-Men eras through the comics anyway, of just how good of a leader Cyclops is. And so I've been enjoying this X-Men run for that, even though the team members, I'm like, yo, like there's always this revolving door, but whatever. X-Men issue 14 is a Judgment Day tie-in. I believe we're getting toward the tail end of this event. It's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And that's the list. That's it. So my Marvel comics this week are going to cost me $8 for a grand total before taxes and before my subscriber discount of $21. Not a bad week at all. Now, this is good because I need some comic supplies. I need like 2 short boxes. I need some bags and boards. So I'll probably buy all of that this week. And there is one book on the maybe list. There's one indie title that I don't have on my list, but I might buy it. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Best of Baxter Stockman. Now, I've bought all of the TMNT Best of books, but I keep thinking they're going to end, and they don't end. So we've got the Best of Shredder, the Best of all 4 Turtles. I think we got the Best of Jenica. We got the Best of April O'Neil, the Best of Splinter and Shredder, the Rat King, and now Baxter Stockman. As far as I know, that's all the characters you can have it on. So I might as well finish up the set, but it is a $5.99 book. So I'm undecided because I might buy more supplies than that. And I'm definitely not spending more than my $50 pull list budget. So that's what I'm grabbing when I go to the shop this Wednesday. What are you though? What are you grabbing? It's a slim week from the big 2 for me, but I know there's a ton of indie books, so I want to know what you guys are into from Aftershock and AWA and Zenoscope and all those titles. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to talk comics with me like around the clock, then you got to join the K-Squad, either on Facebook or Discord. And the links to both are in the description below. Hope to see you inside. Until then, hope you saw something you liked in this video. And if not, that's cool. Because you can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy. And be nice to others. Because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.